Afternoon, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. I am actually standing on the ice now. We've got a frozen area here of the creek, and I can see coyote tracks. I can also see some mink tracks. So there's been some animals working this area. And there's a log crossing right here that goes across this creek, comes off the bank and goes over the other bank. And we're going to make a lured blind set with the 160 Canterbury here and try to get a mink off of this. And so it's not a baited set because we're not actually going to put meat bait there, but it's going to be a lured set because we are going to squirt lure down this log to bring that animal through our Canterbury. So stay with me, I'm going to show you how to set this up. Okay, this is probably one of the easier traps or sets to make. Now one thing, this is a brand new 160 Canterbury. It's got 2 springs on it instead of 1, and that's better for sets like this, and I'll show you why. And you can see my brand new trap tag on there. Now I set these springs before I bring these out to the trap line. And the reason for that is because trying to set these things is a royal pain, especially if you're trying to do it out on the line. So when you get ready to set this trap, you really want to pay attention when you start to squeeze this thing down where these triggers are or where these safety latches are, and you always want them facing up, and they will be as long as you've got that trigger facing the right direction at the top. These should always, swing arms should always be at the top as well. But what you're going to want to make sure of is that they don't flip out of the way when you're doing this. You want to get those things on there so that thing can't open up but so far if it happens to go off. Now the next thing you want to do once you get into 160s for sure is you want a trap safety on here. So we're going to take a spring trap safety and we're going to put it right over top of these jaws here just like this before we ever turn loose of this trap. Just like that. Now if it goes off, it's not going to bite us because we've got a safety on it. I've got an orange cord on here so I don't forget to take it off of there. Now the easy thing with this kind of a set is that you can just come in here and basically put it on the log and bend the springs down just like this and wire it right around the log, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to take a piece of trapping wire here, find the end of it, wherever it's at here, and we're going to wire this thing right to the log. There's the end right there. All we need is enough of this to wrap around that log one time and go around each one of those springs. Just like that. And this will be a really, really stable trap when we're done. And it's not going to go anywhere off of this log once it gets set off. So we're just basically going to take this wire around here, pull it through the other spring this way, and cinch it down in the middle of the log, just like that, and then wrap it off a couple times. We don't have to worry too much about the animal running off with the trap here. He's not going to. I'd be more worried about something running off with what was in the trap than anything else. Now, once we've got that set, step one is to get these safety latches off. If you don't take those off, no matter what happens, this trap's not going to catch anything. The next step is to put some lure in here. This salmon oil. So we're just going to come in here and kind of wipe this log down a little bit, just like this. Get some of the snow off of it. And we're going to take some of this salmon oil and squirt it right through the middle of the trap, down the log that direction, and then down the log toward the direction of the creek. Just to give them some scent to try to follow to walk through that trap. That's the whole game. Now we've got our set done, all we have to do is mark it. Take a piece of this marking tape. White's not the best color to use in the snow, but I pretty much remember where my traps are, so it's no big deal. Okay, that's our set. All we have to do now is remove our safety and go on about our business.